All right, so the first review on the channel, and it's going to be Formula One. Well, I gotta say that this movie is incredible. This is like this year's Top Gun Maverick, done by the same director who did Maverick, and I can't recommend this movie highly enough. My regret is that I didn't get this review up early enough, but I'm still going through the growing pains of the channel. I still got to get the gear together and all that stuff, but I figure I got to get the ball rolling on it, right? As per the first video. Anyways, this movie was incredible. Back to basics, classic style movie that they used to make all the time back in the day, like 20 years ago. Something that's desperately needed. Saw it on Sunday with my girlfriend, first time. Missed like about the first minute or so because I kind of misjudged on how late we could get there to skip all the previews and whatnot, and I had to get my popcorn and drink and whatnot. Great movie. Just had to go again. See it again at the same theater, Dolby, with better seats, a little bit closer up, so I can see the whole thing from the very opening moments to the end. And I thought I was just going to sit through the first half, because I had to go home for work and all that. And no, I hung in there, saw the whole thing again, and man, it's one of those ones where you feel fantastic after you leave the theater, much like Top Gun Maverick. Cliche, sure, could probably predict some of the plot points, but didn't really need to be that much. I mean, the movie sort of recaptures that same sort of brilliance of all the movies that used to come out pretty regularly beforehand, and we sort of took for granted because that's stuff that's just desperately needed. And from what I understand, the movie did pretty solid domestically over the weekend, but did really well overseas. And I'm pretty sure that my hope for this movie is that it's going to have legs like Top Gun Maverick did. So the quick breakdown, it's done same team behind Maverick who did this one, same cinematographer, same director. Was made with Warner Brothers and Apple, and I believe Apple lent some camera technology to the filmmakers to kind of further advance upon the stuff that they figured out with putting the cameras in the cockpits of the fighter jets for Top Gun Maverick. They worked it even more so we can squeeze it into the cars on the track, so they can have actual Damson Idris, I believe, and Brad Pitt, both of them for real driving around in the cars. From what I understand, after watching Top Gear and the Grand Tour, Formula One cars are pretty difficult to drive. They're exceptionally difficult to drive. So, understandably, they and probably for budgetary and like insurance purposes, they could only allow, I guess, Brad Pitt and Damson Idris to drive in Formula 2 cars because those are a little bit more manageable, a little easier to drive. You have to be really surgical to be a Formula One, to drive a Formula One car. But anyways, globe-trotting sports movie, follows a simple story of the old-aged, grizzled veteran racer of Sonny Hayes, played by Brad Pitt, and he gets the movie starts with his race. He's kind of like a hired gun. He's just going around driving for whichever team will hire him because he just does it for the love of the race, right? And after the first race in the opening movie, he gets contacted by Javier Bardem, who plays Ruben, who was his former teammate back in the day in the 90s when he was a Formula One driver, with an offer to join his team in Formula One, who's sort of down on their luck, and they're at their end of the rope. The team might go away. He might lose the team because they haven't won a race, and he's in deep. So he gets his old driving friend, his driving teammate, to get back on there in Formula One at a shot for the possible championship. You can imagine where the movie goes from there. And I loved it. It didn't need anything more because it just told this same story exceptionally well, much like Top Gun Maverick did. And that's, I think, the strength of Joseph Kosinski and Bruckheimer, is that they can make a pretty compelling movie with mass appeal. And so I I loved it. Soundtrack by Hans Zimmer is incredible. I've been listening to it all day between the drive to work, at work, and then on the way back. It's been in my head. Sweeping epic score. From what I understand, he composed the soundtrack, Hans, with some electronic bits in it, with orchestral to kind of combine the man and machine vibes, and I definitely felt that it got vibes of like Pacific Rim. I recognized some motifs that kind of sounded familiar with the Born Identity soundtrack, and I got vibes. It didn't sound like it, but I got the mood from like Ace Combat and Project Wingman. All these elements in the soundtrack rolled into one. And honestly, the soundtrack could pretty much fit in pretty well with a superhero movie. Honestly, like it could be, if they were to remake a Iron Man movie, the score would fit with that. That's how well composed it is. It's fitting for superhero as it is for a giant epic movie about Formula One. And the movie does a really good job during the race segments to let the audience in on some stuff, so where they're not totally lost, because Formula One is a very technical sport. That's part of the reason why I guess it's not very popular here compared to like NASCAR or other motorsports, but it's globally well known and it's been around for a while, and it's an extremely technical sport with all sorts of rules and details, and the movie does a really good job of kind of filling in all those blanks to the audience through the announcer narration with what's all going on. And my girlfriend was able to follow along pretty well. I mean, I did whisper some stuff over to her when I was catching on what was going on because I was so excited. But she enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. She liked Gran Turismo a little bit more, as a side note. And I get it because I was based on a true story. This is an original story. So it had some more leeway for dramatic stuff. But I'm trying to think of any other elements of the movie I liked. I couldn't think of anything that I quite didn't like about the movie that sticks out to my head. I mean, I guess everybody, it's a fantastic cast. Everybody did well. Javier Bardem and Brad Pitt had some excellent chemistry with each other. So you absolutely believe that they're old racing friends that just lost touch, that reconnected. Damson Idris was pretty good. He wasn't. He was written so well to where you didn't hate him, or you didn't like him, or you didn't love him, or you didn't hate him. He was just right there, opposite Brad Pitt, and they're both kind of assholes in the movies. They do butt heads, and both of them have good points and bad points. Like they win over each other, and they have conflict with each other, and it's butting egos, as what would happen in racing, because you kind of have to have some sort of an ego to maintain dominance out on the track. And it was just a thrill. It kind of sucks that it's going to get pushed out of all the big format theaters because of Jurassic World is already coming out so soon, so it doesn't have that time to build up that box office revenue. But also, too, a lot of people haven't had time to watch it in the theater. I mean, I've spoken to plenty of people that didn't realize that it had already come out. And I'm just passing the positive word of mouth everywhere I can to see this movie on the biggest screen. And it definitely is worth it. This is one of my top movies of the year, along with Warfare. I haven't had a chance to watch a bunch of other movies that was on my list. It's just, I get to the movies whenever I can. But this one I was seriously compelled to go watch as soon as I could, and I'm so happy I did. This is one that deserves to be watched the biggest screen possible. If you can't see it in Dolby 4DX or ScreenX or IMAX or whatever, see it in a good theater. It deserves to be seen in the big screen. If not those big formats, just a theater, because you're not doing yourself a favor by waiting for it to be on streaming. It's worth it. It's worth to take a price. It's a classic style Hollywood production that frankly Hollywood needs more. And honestly, I'm not sure if they can push out enough of these to save the industry in time, because I think by now, I think most audiences are sort of burnt out on stuff. Unfortunately, I've seen so many jaded types on like Facebook, on YouTube comments and stuff, on other reviews that I've seen, saying that they're just so tapped out, or they're just so averse to anything, any DEI stuff or whatever, wokeness, any inkling of perceptions of wokeness, and there's none of that in this movie. It really isn't. It could have, under less talented or less skillful directors, they could have pushed that element into this movie that could have pulled one out of the story. But it did a good job of doing it, and just everybody was great. I'm going to try to see Jurassic World and whatever else comes out down the road, but I'm going to try to see it again, and in 4DX this time, pay, because I have a membership with AMC, as you've seen me explain on the Being Extra reviews recently, and on the other channel that I've done. And I might actually, it's worth it I might actually shell some money out of pocket to actually see it again in 4DX, just to have that experience. If you're into 4DX, watch it. My experience with that, I wouldn't watch a movie for the first time there, because it is kind of gimmicky and kind of distracting. But if you've seen a movie already once before and you want to have an added thrill to it, yeah, you're gonna have a blast on this one in 4DX, because it'll make you feel like you're there more than it already does, with a brilliant cinematography. Now, the cinematographer is great. You know, the movie looks every bit as fantastic as Top Gun did, and I swear to God, the Academy better nominate this movie for cinematography. He better get it. Personally, I don't think he should have won for Life of Pi. He should have gotten nominated for Top Gun Maverick and won, because, you know, how the hell is a production gonna put all these cameras inside of actual fighter jets, fly them up for real, and not get nominated for cinematography? He got snubbed for that. So hopefully, on a technical note, hopefully this movie gets some nods from the Academy for cinematography, because that absolutely deserves it. I mean, it really did capture the thrill of being in a race. I'll tell you this much. I mean, I kind of want to go karting or something, or do one of those exotic motor driving sort of experiences to feel the rush of being out on a track, because, man, it's so exciting. Now, it's one of those movies where, if you're not careful, you will feel bummed out afterwards. It's that good, to where real life just feels so dull in comparison. But it just goes to show how good of an escape this movie is for you. It really is a summer blockbuster movie that absolutely deserves a viewing. So yeah, can't recommend it enough. Kind of rambling on this. I should have wrote some notes, but hey, early review, and I wanted to start off with something really positive before I get something that I don't feel too hot about, which might be coming sooner than later on this channel. But that's been my review. So if you like what you saw, feel free to subscribe and like and whatnot. And if you didn't, well, appreciate you sticking around and giving your time and giving a click on this video. And yeah, if you got any feedback or anything like that, just let me know in the comments. I'll be looking into it. It's just channel just starting off. It's growing. Once I get down to the rhythm of putting these videos out on a regular schedule, I'll probably get to edit and add more production value. But for now, I'm just sort of doing this for funsies. But hopefully, I'm not holding my breath really, but hopefully this becomes something bigger. At least just lets me put myself out there in the world. But anyways, yeah, that was my review for Formula One, and enthusiastic thumbs up from me. It's definitely worth the time and the money to go watch it in the theater. Yeah, but anyways, that's been my review. You guys take care. See you on the next one.